go to the other. Well, I think I will talk a bit about corneal endothelial cells in Gaussian disease. Well, as you have already known, the corneal endothelial cell has a thick basement membrane called the Descemet's membrane that is composed of the type 4 and type 8 collagen. The component is almost the same as the dense anterior capsule that is also made of type 4 and type 8 collagen. And then the corneal endothelial cell itself has a quick abundance of the mitochondria. This is a key for the corneal endothelial cell. Well, as you may know, corneal endothelial cell has two functions. One is the weak barrier, and then number two is a strong pump that could maintain about 78% of the hydration of the cornea. Everybody knows the strong pump, but sometimes we tend to forget about the weak barrier is also existing in a corneal endothelial cell. Pump function, that is metabolic because of the abundance of the mitochondria. Mitochondria makes the lots of ATP, that is the energy source of the sodium potassium ATPase, and also bicarbonate ion pump. These two pumps are the key to draw the water from the corneal stroma and into the aqueous humor. Also, this is a temperature sensitive. Temperature sensitive because of the energy dependent. So when we perform the corneal transplantation, before the surgery, if you warm up a bit of the donor cornea become thinner and transparent. So that it's a bit easy to perform the corneal transplantation, especially the penetrating the prostate. Well, barrier function. The influential factors are calcium concentration and also glutathione, and also the temperature. At that time, temperature, if the temperature decreases, barrier becomes stronger. This is vice versa. So, and then the glutathione and calcium concentration. So this is a very famous paper written by Edelhauser. So that is the lack of the glutathione induces dysfunction of the tight junction, resulting in a weak cell-to-cell adhesion. So this is without glutathione. This is with glutathione. So that's the reason why we use probably DSS plus. DSS plus is the irrigation solution for the cataract surgery as well as the vitreous surgery also. This DSS plus has the glutathione, oxidized glutathione in it. So that could enhance the corneal endothelial barrier function during the surgery. So that is the concept of the DSS plus. Well, anyway, so for the intraocular surgery, either the cataract surgery, PKP, DSEC, or the DMEC, endothelial cell density is decreased to some extent. But not only for that, some of the kind of trauma that could decrease the endothelial cell density. So conceptually, about 300 to 400 cells per square millimeter is the borderline for the maintenance of the corneal transparency. So this is about 20 years ago, we performed some of the animal experiments using the cats. Cats' endothelial cell does not divide, proliferate. So therefore, we try to see the drug's adverse effect, infusion into the anterior chamber. 7 days after the injection, hyaluronic acid doesn't do anything, 0.5% lidocaine. Lidocaine did have some marginal adverse effect. Sometimes decrease the endothelial cell to some extent, but not much or so. So during the cataract surgery, you may use some kind of lidocaine, I think anesthesia or so. I think it's okay, but if you use tons of the lidocaine, they may have some kind of adverse effect. But alcohol, this is a Tibetan alcohol or the DAC, but preservative. preservative is quite bad. So be quite careful about some of the contamination of the alcohol and also the preservative, especially when you perform either the cataract surgery or so at the different hospital or the different team of the nurse or so. It's a danger. Try to make sure there's no contamination of these things. If you use a disposable cannula, it's okay. But if you use a reusable cannula, so they may have some kind of remnant of alcohol poison. Well, specular microscopic evaluation is a key, but usually we are now using the non-contact type specular microscope. So in this case, you only see this portion. Most of the time, central part, very small portion of the fields as you measure. You do not have any information of the mid-peripheral or the peripheral area of the corneal fields. For instance, this is the play and 5 years after the penetrating caliplasty or so. Surprisingly enough, he showed over the 2,000 cells per square millimeter or so. This image is obtained by non-contact specular microscope that could tell cell density and also coefficient of variation, and then sometimes hexagonal cells also. This is the standard of the normal corneal endothelium. Normal corneal endothelial cells is supposed to have over the 2,000 cells per square millimeter. Coefficient of variation is under 0.35. Hexagonal cell is over the 60% or so. Well, I'd like to show you the other image of using the scanning straight wide field contact specular microscope. This is still the prototype, but you can get some image of the human corneal endothelial cells. So this is a normal human corneal endothelial cells from the center to the periphery. And then this is 4 years after the penetrating caliplasty. Although cornea is transparent, but the endothelial cell itself is totally different. And this is Fuchs corneal endothelium. This is Fuchs. Many cornea put there at the center, and the mid-periphery density is decreasing. So I'm not so sure about whether you have many corneal endothelial dystrophy or so, but in Japan, we used to have very few cases of Fuchs endothelial corneal dystrophy. But nowadays, the number of Fuchs endothelial corneal dystrophy is increasing, probably because of the diet. So we have more lipid type foods as compared to the 20, 30 years ago. So anyway, so for this is a Fuchs dystrophy, you can see cornea good day or so. And this is a cornea good day. What is a cornea good day? Cornea good day is an extrusion of the descendants membrane to the APAS anterior chamber, and then so therefore there's no reflex coming from the back side of the cornea. So therefore they have a black spot or so. The endothelial cell is still there, but because of that, it's very difficult to see the corneal endothelial cells on the corneal good day. And usually the type 1 collagen is made due to cell stress also. Endothelial cell is supposed to make the type 4 collagen, sometimes type 8 collagen, but not type 1. But if they have some stress, they do not know how to do it. So in addition to type 4, they produce a type 1 collagen as well. Well, pathogenesis of Fuchs endothelial corneal dystrophy is probably due to the aging process and also the oxidative stress. So that mainly dietary and also sunlight as well. But also there's some kind of gene mutation or the susceptibility. Some of the patient is more susceptible to become the Fuchs endothelial corneal dystrophy. So the many findings that these are mainly coming from the Caucasian the patient, coming from the United States or so. Initially, collagen 8, type 8, collagen 8A2, this is related to the early onset Fuchs endothelial corneal dystrophy. This is from Johns Hopkins University, and late onset Fuchs endothelial dystrophy is linked with some of the chromosome as well as CED1 and SLC4A11. You don't have to remember, but that will come later as well. Those mutations, it's okay, was detected in a very small proportion of the Fuchs endothelial corneal dystrophy population. But there's a big discovery coming from the Mayo's Clinic in the United States. They found transcription factor 4, called TCF4. Some of the SNPs in the transcription factor 4 gene, and then that gene, especially they had a kind of CTG repeat in TCF4 was defective. So this is very unique because if CTG repeat is seen in Huntington disease, except Huntington disease, there's no disease that can prove of the CTG repeat. And that is coming from the Caucasian subject. So we followed the same the study for Japanese. It's about 30%. They show that CTG repeat over the 50 in TCF4 genes. And this is the reason, this is the Mayo's group, they show about 80% or so. This is a Chinese group reported, this is the Indian group reported. So except the Caucasian, we have about 1/3 of the patient did show the CTG repeat in the TCF4. So about 1/3 or about half of the patient had an identical, I think, kind of abnormality which was seen in Caucasian population. What about the posterior polymorphous dystrophy? This is a bilateral, autosomal dominant, secondary glaucoma, but this is rare in Japanese. Probably here it's also rare, here in Vietnam. Eventually that could develop the virus also secondary glaucoma. And then this is the genes involved. So PPCD is divided into 3 groups, subgroup, PPCD1, although they had some reports, but we are not so sure about the presence of the PPCD1. PPCD2 is linked with collagen 8A2. You heard already. And also PPCD3 is linked with a ZBB1. And CHED SLC4A11. So these genes is linked with an early onset of the Fuchs endothelial corneal dystrophy or a late onset of the corneal endothelial dystrophy. So we thought clinically these are the completely different corneal endothelial dystrophy, but genetically they may be the kind of a family of the corneal endothelial abnormality. So that is the concept of this one. Posterior corneal vesicles. This is reported in 1981 or so. Jay Crutchin at Iowa University of Iowa, he reported the posterior corneal vesicles, PCV. PCV is not only in the retina, but also in the cornea as well. Well, this is usually unilateral and non-familiar, but you can see the healthy looking 20 years or the 30 years or the 14 years boy or the girl, or so sometimes you could see that some of the band shape or some of the flora in unilaterally, and then when we took the spectral microscopic image, they have some kind of ectopic accumulation of the cells. They are supposed to be the kind of corneal epithelial-like cells. So there's an abnormal differentiation. They're supposed to divide it, they are differentiated into the corneal epithelial cells, but somehow they become more epithelial-like cells. The other corneal endothelial diseases, surgically induced virus keratopathy, laser iridotomy induced virus keratopathy, burst trauma or so. But I'd like to show you the cytomegalovirus corneal endotheliitis. And also you have to remember pseudo exfoliation. Sometimes pseudo exfoliation also develops the virus keratopathy as well. Well, CMV corneal endotheliitis. That could be seen not only in Japan but also in Singapore. Also, the Professor Tan I think described the presence of the cytomegalovirus infection. So we expect this cytomegalovirus infection could be occurred in Asian countries, including Vietnam. So that's what I'd like to show you. So this is the kind of endothelial type, the rejecting type line, or these coin lesions. When we draw the humor, try to detect some of the virus DNA by PCR, HSV negative, VZV negative, and CMV positive. So this is the cytomegalovirus corneal endotheliitis. Especially the coin lesion, these coin lesions is a key. After the corneal transplantation, sometimes we could see these coin lesions as well. And then confocal microscope clearly show all eye-like cell in the cell. So that this is a typical feature of the cytomegalovirus infection on the cells. So these kind of infected cells you could see, and non-infected endothelial cell looks normal too. Well, so therefore, the Japanese Ministry of Health and Welfare, they have done the national survey, and so far at that time, we collected just over 100 cases or so. 3 cases are bilateral. So that is, generally speaking, this is unilateral, and then most of them are male. 80% are male, and average is just over 60 years of age. And there's no immunosuppressive status. There's no HIV infection or so. Just a normal working windy male and over 60 years of age or so. And then, so therefore, we set up a guideline for diagnosing cytomegalovirus corneal endotheliitis. This is, first, we have to prove the cytomegalovirus DNA in the anterior chamber, and if that patient did show the coin lesion or immunological line, this is a typical cytomegalovirus corneal endotheliitis. If they do not show the coin lesion, but they have some kind of corneal edema accompanied by the keratopathy, and then at least they have 2 out of 3 decrease of the corneal endothelial cell density, or iridocyclitis, or increased episode of the increase of ventricular pressure. We say this is atypical cytomegalovirus corneal endotheliitis. In addition to that, Posner-Schwarzman syndrome, according to the other manuscript, the articles that is appeared in the American Journal of Ophthalmology, there are many patients, they did show the cytomegalovirus DNA in the Agas humor in the patient with the Posner-Schwarzman syndrome. So this is also the candidate for the cytomegalovirus corneal endotheliitis, or at least the family of the disease situation. What's the treatment? I think for us, depending upon the severity of the disease, but we either use ganciclovir drip or ganciclovir orally, and then we continuously use the topical ganciclovir eye drops 4.5 times, 6 times a day or so. If we stop using the ganciclovir eye drops, the cytomegalovirus endotheliitis could recur. So after treatment, we use these eye drops. This is not commercially available. So from the drip, we made it by ourselves. And also sometimes we use a low dose of the steroid to minimize the inflammation. I will talk a bit about the corneal endothelial transplantation also. Corneal endothelial recovery. In practice, the goal of the corneal endothelial transplantation is to obtain a high corneal endothelial cell density with a good physiological function. So this is a usual decay after the, for instance, corneal transplantation. Many endothelial cells with a low endothelial cell density. Eventually, they develop the corneal good and then we couldn't see any image of the corneal endothelial cell. At that time, still the cornea is transparent, and then develop the virus top. So for us, we imported the clear-cut donor cornea from the United States for the DSEC procedure. And so usually we perform the DSEC, I think, within 7 days after the enucleation result. So we do the quite standard procedure for the DSEC procedure, and then using the Bussing drug, and then pull technique. I think you may use the transcribe. That is good, but the cost something. So we use the Bussing drug anyway, and inject the air or salt. And we started year 2007 or so. Now it's about 50% of the cases we perform the DSEC. So in total, we just perform just all the 500 cases of the DSEC or so. And the DSEC and the PKP, when we compare the corneal endothelial cell density, DSEC seems to be better than a penetrating characteristic. But still, we're not so sure about that. But at least the franchise showed us the 5 years period after the DSEC procedure, DSEC is better than a penetrating characteristic. Because we do not have not much of the foot endothelial corneal dystrophy for the endothelial characteristic. Mainly after the cataract surgery or after the glaucoma surgery or the laser-induced neurokeratopathy or so. This is a kind of severe characteristic or so. So therefore, we still use the DSEC and then very restricted cases for the DMEC procedure. So for instance, this is the neurokeratopathy, and you could easily see by the slitter and with some of the device to remove the desmus membrane or so. Maybe you don't have to remove the desmus membrane, but in severe case, try to make a tight adhesion. So we intended to remove the desmus membrane for most of the cases. And then before the irrigation in the air, we try not to release the left hand and then inject air and also the solution or salt. Well, this is about 4 months post this procedure. So we are quite confident about either the patient the pseudo-phakic or with the giant breast or aphakic neurokeratopathy or so. We try to perform the DSEC rather than PKP for this patient. So this is the aphakic neurokeratopathy. So we first suture the IOL and then introduce the DSEC flap into the anterior chamber. But it's so difficult to increase the intraocular pressure. So we intentionally suture the DSEC flap with the full penetrating the sutures. usually when we decided to suture 3 or 4, usually 4. It looks like horrible, but still after the surgery we can maintain the reasonable amount of the corneal endothelial cell density. She also has some of the bread. Bread is almost collapsed, but eventually that bread is coming back. So this is about 1 month after the surgery or so. So we tried whatever, the neurosynapptopathy, we tried first for the DSEC procedure in addition to the IOL suture or whatever we have to do. Well, so this is about the 6 cases of the DSEC flap with the suture or so. You can get some of the 3. This is probably better than penetrating calcium. Well, I'd like to show you our way of thinking in the future. Give me 5 more minutes or so. Cell injection. Culture endothelial cells into the anterior chamber, and then try to hold the face-out position, and then hopefully the patient breast catheter will heal. Well, that will gradually become reality. So this is the human corneal endothelial cell, 3 days, and then to 47 days or so. Takes some time to culture the corneal endothelial cell. And eventually, when we have this kind of endothelial cells, and we inject these cultured endothelial cells into the anterior chamber, I'd like to show you. So we've done so far 30 cases or so. This is the 300 microliter of the solution. They're supposed to have the cultivated corneal endothelial cells. This is my great Nura. So and then I'm waiting for this solution. So making the 1.6 millimeter corneal incision, and I marked an 8 millimeter in diameter and tried to scratch the backside of the cornea. We try to keep the descemet membrane in the eye, so this is the silicone 3. So scratch the descemet membrane, and you can see where I actually removed, so by the staining of the vision group. After the staining, I made one suture here by 1009. So you can get some of the feeling of the where I removed. And then draw all the AS humor, and then I inject the cultured endothelial cells by in combination with a low kinase inhibitor. This is a 25 gauge needle. And then you can see the total amount is a 300 microliter of the solution. And immediately after the injection, the patient is supposed to hold the face down position. So finished, and then we have a kind of special bed. And she holds the face down position. There's some of the hole, and down there, there's an iPad, and then she selected already some of the movie. So the other eye, she could see well, so she saw about a 2 hours movie. That's the way. So this is one example, 60-year-old male, looks at the history, breast injection, 1 month after, 6 months after the injection. We've done about just over the 2 years ago or so. So this is the image obtained by the pentagon. Central corneal thickness is almost 800 micron or so, come down to less than 600 and 525 micron. Cornea decrease the corneal thickness, and epithelial edema decrease. And so you can see therefore a good vision as well. So this image is taken 4 months after the cell injection. You can see many corneal endothelial cells, but there's not the hexagonal cells. And they are still reorganizing. Takes I would say 2 more months or so. But this endothelial cell density is over the 2,000 cells per square meter or so. Well, this is the spectrum microscopic image. You can see it's about 4 months after the surgery. Cornea is clear, and there's no uveitis, no increase of the intraocular. Well, this is, I think, the last picture. This is the PKP, clear cornea. This is a DSEC, clear cornea. This is a cell injection. When you see the optical body, the shape looks similar, but there's some addition of the tissues. So we think this is the best working of the body, and the optical body. So we've done just 30 cases or so, but we are pursue this kind of procedure for the future. It takes about 10 minutes. So we can create the cultured endothelial cells for at least 100 patients, starting from one donor point. So one donor point can create for the 100 patients. Well, thank you very much for your presentation.
Chúng ta vừa nghe hai bài báo cáo của giáo sư Kinoshita thì bài rất là tuyệt vời. Chắc là chúng ta sẽ có nhiều thời gian để chiều hóa. Tại vì nếu mà các bạn biết thì như cái trình độ của tôi đó, thì tôi thấy cũng nhiều cái mới mà cũng phải mất nhiều thời gian tiêu hóa những cái kiến thức của thầy giảng dạy. Và nếu mà mình làm được cái đến bằng nội môn như vậy đó, không biết mình có đi thi Nobel được không? Các bạn có câu hỏi gì với thầy không? Các bạn có hỏi gì không?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Sau đây thì xin kính mời giáo sư Tư Tân